The next game of the FIFA World Cup sees Germany taking on Curaçao. And let's be honest, this one is not going to be a good one for Curaçao. No disrespect to them, but Germany are currently on a winning streak, and I think that Germany are probably just going to sweep them aside. But let's look at some of the players who I think will be pivotal in the game or have some sort of impact, and then we'll have a look at some head-to-head stats. Starting with Germany, I have to go with Manuel Neuer. He was in retirement. He decided that he was no longer going to be playing international football, but then he was convinced by Julian Nagelsmann to come back, and at 40 years old, he's at the World Cup, and I think he will be a starter. So for me, the reason why I have him as a player to watch, it's the last time we'll ever see Manuel Neuer playing at a World Cup. I don't think he'll be at the next one at the age of 44. Apart from that, a legend of the game, and just one more time to admire Neuer. My next pick is Florian Wirtz, obviously a massive move to Liverpool, and he was struggling a bit, things weren't always looking up for him, but it's almost as if the second half of this past season, he was turning into the player that he once was at Leverkusen, and I think that Slot was sort of getting something out of him, and I think with Iraola, he might just become even more of a monster on the field. But for now, I think that he is going to be having a great campaign at the World Cup, and who knows, he might ball out, he might not, but Florian Wirtz is definitely one of the players that I believe should be kept an eye on. My final pick for the German team has to be Kai Havertz. I do believe that after this title winning season with Arsenal, things are looking up for him, things are looking up for all the Arsenal players, but I do think that he's going to come to this World Cup, and he's definitely going to want to have a massive campaign. I mean, who wouldn't want to win more titles after just winning a league title and winning something with your country? Could Germany pick up another World Cup this campaign? I'm not too sure. As I said earlier, they are on a great winning streak, and I think that Kai Havertz has a lot that can be added to that. He is always someone who was great at the German style football back in the Bundesliga, and I do think that playing for his nation with the other talents around him could push him to the next level. Now looking at the players for Curaçao, Richard Libazur is a player that I always admired at centre back. He may not have been one of the best players in the world, but he was someone that I enjoyed seeing defensively. I thought he was a good player, and I do think that he is going to bring something to this team. Curaçao, just to have made it to the World Cup on its own, that's a massive achievement from them. But for their players to actually be in this group stage, you never know. There could be massive opportunities for clubs to look at them and bring in players from the minnows into higher divisions. Of course, some of these players play in top flight and in second division teams. I do know that Rashidli is currently playing in Turkey, but he was a former Ajax player as well. My next pick has to go to the former Manchester United man, Taith Chong. He was honestly one of those players I enjoyed seeing in a United shirt. He always had the talent, he always had this charisma about him. At the end of the day, it didn't work out at United, and he's been at some EFL teams in the lower divisions. But I really think that he is someone to watch because he's been pivotal for Curaçao a lot of the time, and who knows what he could do at this World. My next pick is Lomanencia. He is only 22 years old. He currently plays for FC Zurich in Switzerland, but I do believe he's got a lot of time, and he could literally turn into an absolute beast in the future. And as I said, at only 22 years old, room for growth. I would love to see what he's going to bring to this team. And let's look at the stats compared to each other. Germany's last 5 games have been 5 wins, a 5-star performance from the Germans. Curaçao's last 5 games, however, 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses. And head-to-head, there's nothing to show because they've never played each other before. And on to my prediction, it's quite simple. Germany are going to sweep Curaçao, and with all due respect, I would say 4-1 is my final prediction. That's that. It would be disrespectful for me to say something like 8-1, but I do believe that Germany will field a weaker side to start off the World Cup, and obviously to test the waters against Curaçao.